Welcome, amazing agents and investors from across the country. Today is Wednesday, February 5th, 2020, and this is role play call number 51. As I was mentioning, we got a great turnout. We already have 7 people in the queue, so we probably have room for about 10. So if you do have something you'd like to role play with Chad, jump in there now. If any of you have not been on this call before, it's a little bit different. Our Thursday call is an open forum, discussions, questions, success stories, etc. This we try to keep more in the form of a role play. So this is for places that you're getting stuck in your communication, with your personal representatives and or attorneys. Also, if you've got something that's working well for you, we just love that. Please share it with the group. You can be the agent or you can be the executor. Sometimes we have brave agents that want to get critiqued, and that's okay too. And we have 9 in the queue, Chad, so unless you want to say anything, I think we better get to it. Anything you want to add before we start?
I'm good. Let's roll.
All right. Let's roll and role play. First up is phone number ending in 3621. You're up first.
Hi, I'm sorry. I need to probably get out of the queue. I just thought that was what I needed to dial to get in.
Oh,
well,
there's only
okay.
one way.
Yeah.
There's only one way out of the queue.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, I've been listening to all your
I'm
calls,
just kidding.
and I'm super excited and motivated.
You're good. Nothing that you want to role play today?
No, I'm still listening to all your guys' stuff, and I think I'm learning a lot. And once I get my first letter out, then I'll be ready.
All right. Well, we'll let you off the hook. No problem. Next up is phone number ending in 9130. You're up next.
Hi, this is Sandy. Can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good. Well, I did Mastery last week before, and so my first drop is going to be this week. Letters are all set up, all that kind of thing, so I'm ready to bite the bullet and let Chad not lightning strike me, please, but...
Okay, so you're going to take the hot seat. That's awesome.
I have to.
Let's do it. There's no money. The consequences are only pride here, not money, and we'll go easy on you. So it's a good place to practice.
Yeah, it's nice that it's not like a Skype video and everybody can see me.
Yeah. All right, you want to do inbound like you're calling me?
I am.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, I'm looking for Chad.
This is Chad. Who is this?
Hi, Chad. I'm Sandy Hitchcock. I sent you a letter last week, and I wanted to follow up and see if you received it.
I may have. My wife has been dealing with all the mail. I've been traveling for business.
Okay. Well, the reason that I wanted to follow up was to, see if you had a chance to review the information I sent. I have a company that I've put together to help people that are going through probate. Going through it myself, I know it can be a very difficult process, very stressful.
You said it was Sandy, right?
Yes.
Sandy, we've got an attorney. Thanks for your call.
Well, that's great that you have an attorney. The group that I've put together picks up where the attorney leaves off. And we actually include the attorney in our team of people and all work together. Did you realize that the attorney only handles the legal aspects, so only about 25% of your responsibilities?
Masterful question asking. Such a good job. No, I mean when we met with him, he basically said just wait for his word, and he's gonna help us take care of everything.
Okay, so that is something that a lot of people feel was the instruction. What we found is that holding off can be very costly for the family, for the heirs. Did you know that about 5% of the gross value of the estate gets spent just on admin fees and delays?
I think you failed to tell us that part. I'm not real clear on how much it's going to cost. It's 5%?
That's about the average when somebody doesn't have their estate set up or no will and it has to go through probate. So our goal, because I've experienced this myself 3 different times, twice it was set up correctly and very smooth and easy for our family. The 3rd time it was not, and it turned into a family feud. People lost money. It took, it really tore up the family, and it took a lot of time, aggravation, and stress. And my group of people and my team of people all specialize in the areas that you're going to need help. So can I ask you, if there was something we could take off your plate right now, what would that be? Something you wouldn't have to do yourself.
I wouldn't have to give up my next 2 weekends golfing to clean out the garage, the basement, the attic, and everything else to get this thing ready to do whatever we're doing with it.
Oh, I understand how you feel. My grandmother's house was packed to the brim with trinkets. I have a group of estate sailors, clean-out crews. So what we could do is, I'm sure, are there other, heirs or siblings connected to the estate?
Yeah, I mean, I have a sister and she's in Montreal, and I have a brother down in Key West.
So what we could do is, help you go through everything so that the family members all get the things, the little special things that they want, and then the clean-out crew can come in and take care of donating, throwing away, or selling the items for you. And then all of these services are free until we do what we promise. So is there anything else with the property? I'm understanding there's obviously a home. Have you considered what you're going to do with that property?
You're doing so well. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, my brother and sister haven't been able to get in here. He said he thought he might want to move back north and buy it, but he has a house that he has to sell in Florida. So I don't know. I mean, they've talked about buying, like each of them have talked about buying me out. We've talked about selling it. We haven't really gotten anywhere. But I have a realtor here in town that I've used for to buy the last 3 or 4 houses. I don't know that we're going to need help with that. Jerry's pretty good at what he does.
Well, that's great. Do you feel that Jerry is experienced enough in real estate to handle a probate situation that is dealing with multiple owners? And
I mean, we've done. They've been my houses, not my parents. But how is it any different?
Well, there's just so many things that go into probate, and obviously, if you have a real estate agent that you're fond of, I understand that. It's just I specialize in probate. I'm an expert in it. But regardless of the real estate, there's so many other things that you have to go through. The personal property, just cleaning out and getting the house prepared, deciding what you want to do with it. And it sounds like, because you have siblings, that they would be important in this conversation as well.
Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I didn't want to give you a chance to say no.
All right. I'm going to break. I wanted you to take me to the appointment, like especially when okay. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. So
let me go back. So it sounds like you have siblings and you're all discussing your options. Would you agree that it would be important to have them in on this conversation?
For sure. This is something, unfortunately they're not here to help very much, but I have tried to include them on each step. Every time I have an update, I try to set up a call with them.
Okay, so what we can do is I have time available on Friday, and we could set up, since everybody's in different parts of the country or continent, we could set up a Zoom call, put everybody together, and kind of go through some of the things you feel like you need to do and some of the services I offer besides, cleaning out the house. Would 4 o'clock be good?
I really don't know for them. I mean, I have no idea what their schedule is. Can you just call me back in a couple of days and maybe I'll be able to get a hold of them by then?
Well, it does sound like you're really busy. I would be happy to make the phone calls for you to set up the time and confirm that they're available. I can also, just reiterate that no decisions are made. We just want everybody that is important to the estate to be part of the decisions, because I know what it's like with families. You know, big sisters and big brothers are always big sisters and big brothers, so they want to have their opinion, even though you're the personal representative. We want everybody to feel like they're heard and their needs are being met. So would that help you out if I just made the calls and confirmed the appointment?
Sure. You're probably better at herding cats than I am.
Yeah, thanks. That's a great idea, a great analogy. How about we tentatively set you up for Friday at 4, and I will confirm with your siblings that this is okay, and again, make sure that they know we have not made any decisions about anything, that I just offer these services complimentary or free until you use one of them, and then we can at least go through some of the things that an attorney doesn't cover that need to be done, and people just aren't aware because most people haven't gone through probate. How does that sound?
Okay, I guess. This is a little new to me. I have a hard time believing you're going to do everything you say, but I'll hopefully you can surprise me.
So, Chad, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over an email of the letter I sent you, because I'm sure you've got a stack. That will just kind of give you the highlights of what I do offer, and I will also confirm with your siblings, and if there is any problem with scheduling, I'll let you know that as well, so we can get everybody on the same page, and then we can reconnect. But otherwise, if everything goes as planned, what I'll do is follow up with you before the appointment, just as a reminder to everybody, and then get everybody set up on that Zoom call for Friday. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, I look forward to talking to you Friday. And if you have any questions between now and then, don't hesitate to call, text, email. I'll have all my information in the email that I send over to you. But that way you're going to have it right in front of you instead of having to dig through your mail to find that letter I sent.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you Friday.
All right. And then Sandy's next step would be, oh, hey, real quick, before you go.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Can you answer a few questions about the real estate? So the reason we do that, we wrap up, we confirm everything, and then, I almost forgot. I'm going to do some homework. Let me ask you some questions, and then boom, now your conversation is all about real estate. And I know you would go there. I just wanted to connect the dots for everybody listening. My biggest question, this has been a really hard role play for me because I just want to praise you so much. I want to congratulate you. My number one question is, what in the hell are you going to do with all these commission checks, Sandy?
Well, Chad, I'm going to tell you right now, my husband got injured on December 30th, so I've been housebound, because he couldn't move. He's doing well, and we're all on board, but I had all of these plans for the beginning of the year that I couldn't leave the house for more than an hour. So I came across your class. I jumped on, took Mastery, and waiting for the class, I started listening to all the calls and recordings. So I've gone through 2017, 2018, and 2019.
Oh, it shows. So is there anything in front of you right now? Do you have a cheat sheet?
No.
You are going to rock it.
I have a bullet point.
You just, whether you know it or not, you just pulled off one of the top 5 role plays ever. I hit you with almost every common objection that we get. I obviously held off the lightning strike. But I tried to wrap you around the axle and get you off track and take you in different directions with common objections. And you have the perfect response to every one. You're asking good questions. You're getting the facts that you need in the order that you need it. You use feel, felt, found. You use the empathy of doing your own parents, your own family members' estates. About the only suggestion I have is to move that up to the front of your conversation. So potentially in the first 30 seconds where you're going your probate USP. Hi, my name's Sandy. after having to be the personal representative of 3 family members' estates, I decided to build a team of people to help families in the community. And I think that's a much stronger delivery of your, that really establishes, that anchors your empathy, and they're going to trust you faster. So we were probably 2 or 3 minutes in before you revealed that to me. I would bring that all the way back to the front and say, because of this, I formed a team of people to help families going through what I went through. But that's about the only suggestion I have. You were on
I thought I
point.
did. I thought I did say it in the beginning, but I'll have to listen to the recording.
I may have missed it. I heard it, loud and clear when you did bring it up, but I didn't hear it in the beginning. So if you did, great. But man, you should have no call reluctance whatsoever. Like, you get on the phones as fast as you can. You're ready.
Yeah, well, it should happen this week. They drop tomorrow, I think.
Good. Well,
we want to hear
you should have your confidence level should be at a 10. You're going to do really, really well with this.
So that's the letter I chose as well, because in your sample letters that you guys offer to us, the one that says blah blah blah. At a time where you're experiencing grief, stressful, that's the last thing you need. I've been through it myself. So that's in the first sentence. That's in the first sentence of my letter.
That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sandy, we expect you on the weekly role play calls with all of your success stories as you start to take listings. Great job.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up is, gosh, I love this caller ID. We love you. You're up next. His caller ID says, we love you. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah, we had, and I forget it's there, so it always makes me laugh when I hear someone say it. So, you don't call yourself, so you don't see that kind of thing.
Sure.
All right, guys, I've been hanging on these calls for a couple of months, getting my new brokerage business started and websites built, and everything's done and integrated, and the list is going to drop by the 9th, I'm told, so I'm getting excited and ready to get on the first batch of calls. I wouldn't say I'm nervous because I've done a whole lot of cold calling, but I'm curious because I've never done this kind of cold calling. So I'm very curious to see how it pans out, what kinks need to be worked out as I start. So I'd like to do a role play just to see if I have a vaguest idea of the structure of a call. And then I do have a couple questions about auto dialers and best days to call and stuff like that. So let's do a role play if we can.
Yeah, if you don't mind, we have about 6 in the queue. If we could do the role play today, and then could you come on the mastermind call tomorrow with those specific questions? That would be a better place for it.
Okay.
Is that all right? I mean,
yeah.
Okay, because we don't want to ignore you, but I think
it's your show, man. I'm just here trying to get a crumb.
Because the 2 questions you ask are a great question for the role play call, which is tomorrow afternoon. And I'm sure a lot of other people will have the same question.
I'm just scared that the list is going to hit, and I'm not going to have my answers. But okay.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead? Well, how do we start this?
Oh.
So someone's going to say ring, ring, or?
Well, you want to be the agent, right?
Oh, of course I want to be the agent.
Okay. So
yeah.
You ring, ring. You dial
Okay,
us.
ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? John Michaelides, Equity Probate Service. I'm looking for Chad. Is this Chad?
This is Chad.
Hey, Chad, how are you? I just wanted to follow up. I sent you a letter last week. It was in a colorful envelope. You might remember it, from Equity Probate Services. Did you get that letter, and did you get a chance to read it?
We did. My wife is kind of collecting all those, and we meet with the attorney next week. Quite honestly, we've gotten a lot of letters, and we haven't responded to any because our attorney says that we should just wait for his guidance and do whatever he says next. So, but I guess maybe you'll make the cut next week when we meet with him.
Well, I'm not trying to make a cut, but thanks. And I think you're really smart, because to try to go through the probate process without the guidance of your attorney would be a mistake. So at least I'm happy to see that you're off on the right track. Did you by chance, when you got the letter, go to the website and watch the short video, or did you not get a chance to do that?
No, we haven't done that.
Oh, okay.
What is it you're calling about?
Well, we have a service, and what we do is we help folks with the 80% of things that the probate attorney does not cover. Now, I happen to be trained as an attorney myself. I don't practice, but I understand the law. And what most people don't understand is that the attorney is involved in the legal stuff, the filings, making sure everyone's notified, deadlines are met. But that really is, and we could quibble, is it 20% or 25%, but it's nowhere near 50%. The vast majority of the stuff that needs to be done, like inventorying property, valuing property, having estate sales, clean out, if roofs need to be fixed, lawns cut, all that stuff falls on the personal representative of the estate, and what we provide are referrals to vetted, caring, trusted providers in all of the fields that the attorney doesn't touch. So you do need our services. Whether or not you use us isn't the issue, but the purpose of our letter, the purpose of our website and the video I wondered if you watched was to reach out, because I started this because I went through it myself when my 95-year-old grandma passed. So call it a personal ministry if you want, but the purpose of Equity Probate Service is to help folks like you get all the things that need to be done that their attorney is not going to handle for them. Make sense?
I guess.
So I want to talk to you about that. What's the biggest thing on your plate right now that you're dealing with that needs to be handled? And I'd love to give you a referral to a trusted person that can help you with that.
Well, the biggest challenge has been making sure that the oil tank is always full. We get a chance to go by there once a week, and at this time of year, we never know if the thing has ran out of oil and frozen up or not. So it's been a burden. I mean, it's just dealing with the house has been the most burdensome thing so far. I mean, is that
so what part of Sarasota, Florida do you live in? where you've got to worry about the oil tank being full and freezing up, because I don't work in that part of town.
We're on the north side of town.
Well, Chad, that what you just said is never going to happen. So change it somehow.
Well, let me tell you this. I'll challenge you on that, because if you call enough in Sarasota, you will find ancillary probate in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, New Hampshire. Like, you're going to deal with people who have assets in other states, just because there's so many seconds. And a lot of people will make Florida their primary residence, so there'll be a primary probate in Florida, and you'll have ancillary probate, which are referral opportunities in New England, and we see quite a bit of that. So anyway, I didn't remember your market. So
well, baby step call number one, you hit me with something that. All right, you got me.
Well, I'll back up. I'll give you another one. So I guess the hardest thing has just been keeping the landscaping and the lawn and everything taken care of. I mean, we don't really have a lawn guy, and I'm on the other side of the state right now, so just getting friends and family to show up, or trying to find a lawn care guy that will show up more than 1 week has been a challenge. Do you have landscaping crews?
Yeah, absolutely, positively. So I can have a great landscaper call. Listen, this is all between you and the landscaper. We're talking about landscaper now, right? You, you're not going to get any bill from us. All we're doing is referring to good people in the community that we know we can trust to do good work. So I will be happy to have an excellent landscaper give a call. Do me a favor. Remind me of the address of the property right now so I could write it down.
It's 123 Pleasant Valley Lane.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to verify that. So 123 Pleasant Valley Lane. I will have a landscaper give you a call. As a matter of fact, let me have an email address. I will send an email to the landscaper and you, making introductions, and you guys can talk amongst yourselves. But this is going to be a great landscaper. It's going to be able to take care of everything. What's that email address? Okay, I got the email address.
I
All
don't
right,
mow
great.
lawns at yahoo.com.
I don't. Yeah. So I got your address. Okay, fine. We'll make that happy for you. I'm really happy to. Anything else? Is there a pool that needs to be taken care of? Any repairs that need to be made? Do you need stuff moved out of the house? And what about the house? Are you guys going to keep it in the estate as a rental? Are you going to sell it? I'm asking this because often the real estate in the estate is the biggest, most valuable, most complex asset, and it's the earliest thing that has to start being worked on because it tends to be complex. What's the deal with the house long term? What are you guys going to do?
Well, I mean, everybody seems to be making so much, like rents are crazy right now, and we don't really need it. Like I said, we're in other parts of the state, so we were thinking about turning it into a rental. And potentially even, my sister even has an interest in doing Airbnb because we heard that was doing so well in Sarasota. We figure we can make more money turning it into an Airbnb.
It's possible. It's something that we can explore further down the road, but the point is you may sell it, you may keep it, you're not sure. What's the condition of the property right now? Is it, whether you keep it or sell it, if it's fallen down, work has to be done. That's my point. So is there anything that we need to get the ball rolling on in terms of getting the property ready for whatever you decide to do with it, besides cutting the grass?
It's in pretty good shape. I mean, Mom and Dad kept a nice place. It's in a nice part of Sarasota.
And what about the belongings? Is it packed? Is it empty? Anything that needs to be done? Do you need to have an estate sale? Anything like that?
I would say packed would be a fair classification.
Packed is a fair classification. Okay. Let me ask you this. Probably the best way, I'm already going to hook you up with a great landscaper. That's consider that done. My personal expertise, you know, I work for a living too besides my little ministry here. I happen to be a real estate guy by trade. I'm trained as an attorney and a real estate guy by trade, so I can help maybe give you some advice which way to go with that. Is there any way that I could get inside that property and take a look? Because you said you're not here, correct? Or maybe you'll be down in the next week or two and we can meet there, something like that. I just want to see what you're facing, so to speak, so I can pick the right people to refer you to, if that makes sense.
Sure. Miss Jones, the neighbor, has the key. She could probably let you in. She goes and checks on it once a week.
Would it be okay if you gave me Mrs. Jones' telephone number and I could call her and go check out the property?
Why don't you let me call her? She,
Fair enough.
You know what Neighborhood Watch is, right?
Sure.
So Miss Jones is like Neighborhood Watch times 100. So I think it's probably going to be better for you if I call her.
So I don't want to go snooping around. She might shoot me or sick her chihuahua on me or something.
There's a good chance of that.
All right, understood. Well, listen, I would like to put my eyeballs on the property and see who I might be able to put you in touch with as you're making plans for what to do with it. I will plan on giving you a call back. Will you be calling Mrs. Jones today, tomorrow? When is that going to happen? Sooner, the time kind of is of the essence in these kind of things, and quicker is better than sooner in terms of getting the ball rolling on certain things. So I would just say, not to push you, it's your house, you do what you want, but quicker's better than later. So when you think, if I could get there this week, that would be awesome.
I'll try to call her this evening.
All right, sweet. Then I will give you a call tomorrow then, and hopefully I'll get out there. What I'll do is, just so you know, is I'll walk through the property. I'll take a video of the property as I'm walking through. I've been in the real estate business 30 years. I kind of know a little bit about it. So I'll point out some things that you didn't even think of or notice. So and it's free. You don't owe me anything, but I'll walk through. I'll take a video. I'll make sure you get that video. I'll make comments of anything I see. And again, the whole point of this is so I can figure out, they need to be talking to Joe or Sally or Bob, depending on what I see there. So, all right, so as I understand it, I'm going to hook you up with a great landscaper. You're going to talk to Mrs. Jones hopefully tonight. I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow to confirm that you've spoken with Mrs. Jones, who'll allow me in the property without sicking Killer the Chihuahua on me. I'll walk through, take a video of the property, get that to you, and then we'll schedule a follow-up call for maybe the next week and see how I could help. I just want you to know, there's no pressure, there's no obligation, but you've got a lot more to do than you even realize, and that's what Equity Probate Service is here to help with, put you in touch with all the right folks to help you get done what needs to get done. Does that make sense, Chad?
It does.
All right, man.
All right. Well, I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sweet. Looking forward to it. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Have you been on the phones doing this yet?
I don't have any leads. I think
Okay.
my first leads come when? Tomorrow, the next day? I've been on the phone. I've been in real estate. I've been on the phones a million years, but not doing this.
No, it shows. You have a high standard of service. I can tell you really care about the customer experience. Unfortunately, that's rarer than it should be in our industry. So you did a great job. I'm curious.
Where are the holes?
Well, I wasn't hard on you. Like I jumped into rapport quickly with you. You got comfortable and you talked a lot. You were very explanatory. But I was feeding you signals that I was responding well to that, right? So I kind of took it that direction. I'm curious if I was more curt. If I was more curt and short with you, you wouldn't want to talk as much as you did. And that's one of the things I really struggled with in the beginning, because I'm like, no, this is amazing. I want to tell you everything about it, right? And I had to learn with those people who weren't responding really well to it, like that were being short with me. I had to learn to condense that down. So that's one thing I'll make you aware of. It doesn't really apply in this role play because I engaged with you fully. I love how thorough you are. I like the approach you're taking. I'm really curious about the approach you're taking. You're really underscoring that I'm a referral partner, where I approach this more of I'm a vertically integrated solution, and until they meet me in person, they don't know that everything's not under one company, under one roof. And you're kind of disclosing that on the front end and presenting it as, this is a service that we do, and you call it a ministry. There's one letter that I want to point you to if you haven't found it already. It's called the Probate Social Enterprise Letter. And I wrote it for, it's more of it's a bit facetious. It kind of downplays to play. It was written for a very competitive market in Colorado Springs. But that letter basically matches exactly how you role played. So you might check out that letter. It's a two-sided letter. Side A is kind of general probate. Side B is more, here are your options for real estate's the biggest problem. Here are the options for the, for you. And it starts with the first one, do nothing, turn it into a rental, keep it, and then eventually works down into selling real estate. So it's indirect, like you're stepping back. You don't seem overly eager.
I really, truly, no bullshit, see the equity probate service as ministry. I've owned a property management company for last almost 9 years, just starting a brokerage arm because sales are so hot and I'm losing out on all my owners are selling their property. And I've built, and I thought, where do you get leads from when you're just starting a brokerage? And I've been looking for a ministry that ties into what I already do. And I thought, oh my God, this is it. So I would encourage you, if you can, equityprobateservice.com. I've really modified within the framework, but I've really toned down the language on your guys' website that I bought to make it more of a referral than a going after the real estate. I've changed, and then my brokerage site, which just went live last night, finally, after 2 months of development, equitygrowthrealty.com, I'm focusing on working with estates on that website. So it's a niche that I'm promoting on my brokerage business, which I have the luxury of doing since I'm starting it from scratch. Very curious to see how anybody on the call, by the way, I'd love feedback. This approach that I'm taking, I don't know if it's going to work, right? This is an experiment. We'll see. I have a feeling, though, that it will really strike a chord with the market. And if I don't,
I think you're going to do great, man. Like I'll give you an A on that for sure. The one thing that I'll say you room for improvement is go be a little bit more direct in setting the appointment. So you actually gave up your appointment and told me you would call me back tomorrow. That's probably because of your personality. Like you're not ever a pushy salesperson.
You told me you were out of state.
Right, but you said, okay, so I'll call Mrs. It was what? You'll call Mrs. Smith, or I'm going to call Mrs. Smith,
yeah.
And then you're going to call me back tomorrow. What I would suggest is go ahead and set a tentative appointment for tomorrow, and you call me back if Mrs. Smith can't be there. That would be the only change that I would make. That way
I see what you're saying.
You're getting a solid commitment, and then the follow-up is to verify the commitment, not to get the commitment, because I don't want to give you that space. If I'm in rapport with you, I want the commitment now, and you call me back if she can't make it. And then, so those stick pretty much 100% of the time, those tentative appointments stick. But otherwise, man, like you're very thorough. You have a super high standard of service. I think you're going to do extremely well with this.
Yeah, and I hate to cut you. I don't mean to cut you off. We have six more in the queue, so no. Go ahead. Go ahead and summarize, and then please come on the call.
That
come on the call tomorrow.
What Chad just said, you're going to do very well. I just want to reiterate something I said before. According to your ROI calculator, I'm going to make $47 billion a quarter.
I love it. Thanks a lot. All right. He's not lacking in energy and enthusiasm. I love it. I love people like that. Yeah. All right. Next up is phone number ending in 3710. You're up next.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you.
I was hoping to role play as the agent.
Wow, we got a lot of brave Chad that you're just taking the day off.
I know, this is a great call.
Go ahead, sir.
I will say this. I got on the phone probably back in October for the first time, and I could hear my heartbeat in my headset, so definitely a new area for me. But ring ring.
Hello.
Hey Chad, how's it been?
Ben who?
I said, how have you been, Chad? My name is Jan. I was calling because I sent you a letter about a week ago, About the services we offer here in the area, I'm a probate specialist serving Duval, Clay, and St. Johns County. And what we do is we reach out to personal representatives with the intent of helping them through what we like to call probate quicksand. Oftentimes there's so many things going on. You've been given this new set of responsibilities, which can feel like a full-time job. And so what I'm here to do is to help you figure out what do you need to get done in the probate and who you need to know to get those things done efficiently.
We already have an attorney that's handling all this stuff. Are you guys? Is this a legal office? I mean, you should know that it's.
I am not an attorney myself. I work with attorneys, so if you have one, that is great. It would be a tremendous task to take on probate alone. So what we do is we'll pick up where the attorney left off. We'll do things regarding the personal property inside the home, whether you're looking to sell the items inside the home, if you're just looking to get rid of things. We work with a crew that can recycle about 80% of the things inside a home, and they will also donate some of the items. So we're an integrated group of individuals here locally, and we offer tons of different services with the intent of helping you and helping you save time and reduce stress. Is that something you would be interested in?
Like I said, I think our attorney is doing everything you're doing. Like he said we're going to take it one step at a time. He'll call me back when we're ready to move forward. We're just waiting for his word.
That's something attorneys will often say, and they have the best intent in doing so. Let me ask you a question real quick. Is there property in the state, real property?
There is. There's a house.
Did he mention anything about changing over your homeowner insurance just to make sure that it's covered, since more than likely it's been vacant?
It has insurance. I've been making those payments.
It does? Okay. Was that just the ongoing plan that was already in place, or did you reach out to the insurance company?
No, we've had insurance with Nationwide for years.
Okay. Is the home vacant? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you that.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Why?
The only reason I'm asking is because the typical insurance plan, doesn't cover homes that have been vacant for more than 30 days. So that means if anything were to happen to that house, if there was a break-in, vandalism, anything, more than likely that would not be covered.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure our insurance will cover it. I mean, it seems like, we're paying the premium.
Oh, okay. Is there anything that you would like to have taken off of your hands so you don't have to bear the weight of responsibility-wise when it comes to probate?
The attorney said that they're going to be with us every step of the way, and there's nothing right now that's really pressing. So no, I don't think I don't really think I need anything. Okay.
Well, did you get a chance to take a look at that letter that I sent you?
Man, I'm sure you probably know. We've gotten 50 letters from real estate investors. I'm assuming that's where this call is going, right? You want to buy the house?
That's actually not the case. So the good thing about what we offer, we have your best interest in mind. So if you want to list the home on the market, I can help you do that. If you wanted to sell it quickly for a cash offer, I could also do that. I'm willing to give you a market analysis, which will tell you how much homes are being sold for in your area. And even if you wanted to turn it into a rental, I can provide you information about what rent's going in that area for, or if you wanted to turn it into Airbnb, I work with an awesome piece of software that can tell you what properties in your area are being rented out for.
That's a good question.
So the reason why I'm reaching out is because I know that these times can be very stressful. Not being, having a new set of responsibilities, like I said, can be very taxing. And so my goal is to help you handle probate as efficiently as possible so you don't feel like you're going through the process alone.
Question.
I am stumped.
Okay, so I want to stop there and give you some pointers. So you obviously know all the value points that you need to get to. I think your nervousness is well. Let me back up. Tell me what your calls have been like. How many have you made? What has the reception been like? Where do you get shut down, or where do you get caught up?
Honestly, I haven't been consistent with mailing or the calls. So I did my first mailing back in October. It was about 100 pieces of mail that went out, and I called just about 40. Got on the phone with 2 individuals, and 2 of them, well, one of them said that everything was taken care of. She was an elderly lady, and I got stumped. That was the first contact that I actually was able to reach someone. The second one went sort of like I just got like tied up and not knowing what to say. Like I just froze up. Like I thought I was confident, and then as soon as it started ringing, I got nervous.
Okay, so what I hear in your role play is you know what you need to know. You don't believe in yourself. You're making yourself nervous because you're afraid they're going to think you're full of shit, because at some level you believe that. Am I right?
True.
So you need to overcome that. Yeah, and this is one of the reasons, like when you watched Probate Fast Track the training, I said if there's any one gift I could give any of you guys, it would be confidence, because that's where it becomes fun and easy. You have to believe in your own offer. And an exercise that worked for me, and trust me, I'm speaking from experience. I'm being pretty harsh on you right now, but I know how I was when I first started.
I appreciate it, honestly.
So what solved this for me was really understanding that empathy is 90% of this. Like really understanding the position they're in, feeling the feelings they're feeling, like get yourself in that mindset. So before you pick up the phone, before you think about what you're going to say, get yourself in a matching, like match their state, right? So what do we know about them? We know that this is one of the most stressful times in their life. They've probably never done it. If so, they've only done it once, maybe twice. Most people never do this more than 3 times. They thought it was going to be easier than it is, or they think it's going to be, they think it's easy and they haven't gotten to the hard part yet, which is the role I was playing when we were in role play. And they're being held accountable by their family, their kids, their spouse, all the heirs, the court, the probate clerk, the probate attorney, all the creditors. Everybody's looking to them, and they didn't ask for this. They didn't volunteer for this. And oh, by the way, everyday life is coming just as fast as it always does. So they're really overwhelmed and kind of fragile. So what the benefit of knowing that, what they're craving is leadership. So the attorney, they look up to them and trust that they're going to do more than they should because the attorney took a leadership role. Now, they don't necessarily want all that responsibility because they're not going to help with a lot of that. But they are a trusted leader to the family, so that the family kind of forms that perception based on that trust and responding to their leadership. So your job is to get them to move confidently through this and get out of their own way in most cases. You have to be a leader. And to be a leader, you've got to get in rapport with people. And to do that, you've got to drop the nervousness. So you need to be able to confidently deliver. You were hitting the right points. You were doing the right things. A lot of times you would over-explain things, and it was still a good setup. Even though you were a little bit lengthy, it was still a good setup. But you would fail to ask the question, and you would let that awkward silence hang there. And I think that's backfiring on you, because you get to a point where you're like, damn, I ran out of runway. What do I say now? And then you lock up. And you can, even if it's just whatever question you can ask. I was whispering, like, ask a question.
Yeah, I heard.
If you get hung up, buy yourself some time to reset your own state of mind and ask a question. Be like, well, let me back up. I know you're the executor. Who else do you feel like should be part of these conversations as we move forward? So as we move, like, who should be part as we move forward? I've packed in an assumptive close, like, we are moving forward. No is not an option, right? But I've also given you something to think about and talk about for the next 30 seconds while I get myself gathered back up and think about what my next question is and get my conversation back on track. And at that point, they start telling me about the family members and this and that, and then I think of my next question. And so you should always have your next, and not to the point where you're being a poor listener, but you should always be like, have an idea of what your next direction is, like, and what that next emotional open-ended question will be. And that's going to leave you in control of your conversation, which will lead to confidence, and you'll get the positive reinforcement of appointments and paychecks. And then you'll hit momentum, and one day you're going to be like, my God, this is so much fun. I can't wait to get on the phones. But I would say for you, you need to be, do you feel like you're 100% clear on all the value you can provide?
I'd say so.
So you know how to get a house cleaned out. You know how to get punch work done. You have a stager, a photographer. You can contact a social worker or a housing authority to help somebody get a HUD voucher and find housing, a storage facility, a property manager. Like, you know how to, you feel like you have these pieces to be the solution, right?
Correct, yes. I've already reached out and networked.
Yeah. So do you feel like anybody else in your market is better equipped to deal with these families than you are right now?
I don't, no.
Okay. Well, you believe in yourself. You've got the pieces there. You've got the knowledge. You know what you're trying to do. I think your biggest challenge, man, the reason you're nervous on the phone and that's creating, the challenge that you're having, I think you just need to remind yourself why you got into this. There's 1,073 ways to make money in real estate. What attracted you to this one?
I think, so my background is in graphic design, and while I was going to school for that, I worked retail for 4 years at Walmart, and out of anything, a lot of my coworkers were surprised that I enjoyed working there, and I enjoyed talking to people, and I actually had, like, the customer's interest in mind in just about everything that I did there. And so seeing, like, when I first came across your videos and your training program, and I went through Probate Mastery, seeing that it's not a selfish act, not saying that investors or realtors are selfish, but being able to provide tons of different services without asking in return or trying to get a kick on the back end for referrals or anything like that spoke to me, because there's good people out there, and there's obviously it makes the process easier for the personal rep without having, since you already vetted these services, and that you're providing them a connection that you know is trustworthy, vetted, and so forth.
So you, like, is this a fair summary? You jumped into this niche because you're compassionate, and you feel like that gives you a chance to meet your needs and the service that you feel like the world deserves from you, right? Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
So by being nervous on the phone, you're not allowing yourself to show them that compassion. You're not allowing your service to get to them, because that nervousness makes them feel like there's something they don't know about you, and like, why is he nervous? Like, if your dentist called you and very nervously said, you've got that appointment tomorrow at 1, do you think you'll be here on time? Or I was just thinking, I've got all these tools, and I've got a scalpel, and I've got a pick, and I have this thing, and this light was made in Switzerland, and do you think you'll be here at 1 tomorrow? Like, how does that? You're like, holy shit, I got to find the new dentist, right? And right. I think you're eliciting the same response. And then when you get the negative feedback loop, like when you read that in their tone, then you're in your own head, right? Then your ego starts saying, they think you're an idiot. You can't do this. Am I hitting close to home?
Yeah, that's dead on.
So I think what you need to do is turn everything off. Maybe listen to some role play calls while you're doing this, but you just need to spend some time reminding yourself why the hell you got into this and just how capable you really are. And at that moment, when you feel like pounding your chest saying, yes, then get on the phone and go make your next call. And I think you'll see a different result. Because you know what you need to know. You're not believing in yourself, and you need to work on that more than anything.
And I was just going to add, I was on the call, the original role play you did a couple months ago, and you still have a long way to go, but honestly, I think you've improved. You didn't sound quite as unsure of yourself as you did then. So it's a process, man. Keep at it. And it takes a lot of guts to come on the call, and not be polished yet and be willing to volunteer. So, you have the ambition, you have the drive, and you're obviously brave enough to try it. So you'll get there. You wanted to add something, Chad?
I'd like to make a suggestion, and it's nothing like I'm not affiliated or paid with this. Tony Robbins has been a big influence in my life. Like the way he basically takes very complex human psychology and breaks it down into very matter-of-fact, like really simple terms. He has a course called Mastering Influence. It's usually $250. It's on sale every once in a while for less, but it's an audio course. It's about 12 and a half hours. I think you could greatly benefit from that. It would probably be the best $250 you've ever spent.
Okay.
So if you really want to, and this will help you. It doesn't matter if you're doing probate or you're doing anything else, even in your personal life. It's Tony Robbins' Mastering Influence. It's tailored for salespeople, but it has a lot of the stuff that he teaches in UPW and Date to Destiny, and it'll really help you. It'll help you manage your own psychology, but it also helps you read other people's psychology and adjust things on the fly. And I thank you for stepping up again. And like Jim said, there is a big improvement from the first time you did this. I think the only work you have left to do is really working on your confidence level and reminding yourself that you deserve to meet with these families, and they're better off meeting with you than anyone else or not meeting with you at all. And you need to remind yourself that as often as it takes until you really believe it. Every time you pick up the phone, these people are much better off connecting with me than not connecting with me.
I appreciate that, you guys.
All right. Awesome job today, guys. Chad, you didn't get a chance to role play. I know you're disappointed.
I know, it's great. This is so I love this call. I think it's awesome that you guys are willing to step up and everybody's doing well. So I enjoyed today.
Well, I want to close as I always do. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. We had over 100 people on the call. I want to thank the half a dozen or so that actively participated. And I want to challenge all of you, take one thought, one idea, one thing that you heard on today's call, go out and put it into practice and come back tomorrow for our role play call, and the first Wednesday of next month, for the mastermind call tomorrow, and then the role play call is the first Wednesday of every month. So come back on either of those calls and share your results with the group. Thank you so much, guys. Make it a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.